You can hear me? The mic is still good? Yo, yo, I sound sweet, but I'm not. Just kidding, I'm sweet. Hey, welcome to Deep Stretch. It's a practice around 10 minutes or so where we focus on a muscle group. So today we are focusing on the TFL, the tensor fascia lati. Said many ways. My mentor calls it the tensor fascia latte. And while it's a really, really small muscle, it assists in several other muscle groups, especially with the rotation of the hips and movement of the knee, right? Flexing and extending. So that's what we're focusing on. It's on the lateral or outside part of the thigh. And I do want to share a little bit from Ray Long's book, The Key Muscles of Yoga. They say this small polyarticular muscle originates at the iliac crest in front of the gluteus medius, assisting it with internal rotation of the hip. Tightness in the tensor fascia lati limits postures that externally rotate the hip, such as Padmasana. We aren't doing Padmasana in 10 minutes, but we will be doing postures that are really using a lot of external rotation of the hips. So start with me reclined in happy baby. Hands to the outer edges of your shins, or ankles or feet. If you can't quite get the outer edges of your shins, it's okay to take the back of your thighs. Dorsiflex your feet, flail your toes towards your shin, reach your heels towards the sky, and be still, or you could rock your hips side to side. Take a deep breath in and just feel as much as you can feel in your body now. Exhale, set your left foot down, take both hands to your right shin or foot, whatever you can, and actually use your right arm to the inside of your right leg and kind of push your right knee away. So you'll notice your right thigh bone starts to externally rotate out away from the midline of your body. Right toes and knees point to your right side now, and stay here if you can. Start to work your right knee towards the ground. So your right knee is pressing away. You might even do that assist with your right hand if you can. Your right knee presses away and down. Don't push too hard, right? We want to be excessively gentle with ourselves. Our knees are sensitive joints, but do give an assist to press away. You can use your whole arm that is accessible to you. Inhale here. And exhale here. And you just keep breathing. And you focus your attention on the muscles around your outer right hip and thigh, specifically now your TFL. It's a small, long muscle, outer right thigh, that helps assist in the mobility and stabilization of your hips and your knees. Take another breath in. And then exhale, set your right foot down. You can swish your knees side to side a little bit. Hug both knees in. Once again, move into your version of happy baby. And then this time, set your right foot down, take both hands to your left side, and dorsiflex your left foot. Use your left hand, be very gentle, but push your left knee away. So now you're moving to more of an external rotation of your left thigh. Left toes and knee point to your left side. Left knee presses away as you move it down towards the ground any amount. You might be able to actually use both hands at your left lower leg and use your left forearm to assist your left knee out to help with that external rotation. And sorry if the sound is cutting out, I'm laying on my mic here. So as you're here, focus on your TFL, the outside of your outer left hip and thigh. It's a long and skinny muscle. Small in size, but a really big helper to, like I said, several other muscle groups. Take another breath in and out. Inhale, bring your left knee in, and then exhale, set your left foot down. Swish your knees side to side. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, roll to your right side and push yourself up. When you exhale, find a seat, cross your right shin in front of your left, and you might need to sit on several blankets, 1 or 2 or 3 blankets. If your knees are a lot higher than your hips, if you feel like you're being pulled back or it's really hard to sit up straight, then lift yourself, prop yourself up on a block or several blankets. This would be too high for me, but that could work for you. So from here, flex your feet so that they're dorsiflex, like we worked in the half happy baby. Your toes flare back to your shins. And we'll move into what is known as, let's go with me here. Roll to your left hip and thigh and make a 45 and a 45 degree with your legs. So you're in this shape, or if pigeon pose is in your practice, extend your right leg back behind you. Use a blanket underneath your left glute if it won't quite touch the ground. Left foot is dorsiflex. You're pressing down through the knife edge of your left foot. Shoulders and hips turn forward. And then walk your hands over to your right side a little bit and forward. If you can, then drop your elbows to the ground, but you don't have to. So I've always known this posture as pigeon pose. And then I've noticed over the years, some people call it half pigeon pose. And I'm like, why do you call it half pigeon pose? But it makes sense to me now because the pose we will be coming into, the last pose that we'll be doing together, is a double pigeon pose, or Agni Stambhasana. It's a fire log pose. And I thought, oh, that's why, because there is a double pigeon. This one's half of that. So that's just a little extra bonus knowledge for you if you didn't know that. So as you're here, go free through your left hand if you would, and take your left hand to the inside of your left knee. Push down ever so gently, down and away towards your left side. Down and away, giving yourself a self-assist. Focus your awareness on your TFL, the muscles on the outside of your left, outer left glute and thigh. Stretching. TFL, all kinds of muscles, but we're focusing on the TFL today. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, press yourself up. And when you exhale, broaden your arms, bring more weight to your left hip and thigh, and switch. It's a 45-45 through your legs, known as deer pose, or lazy pigeon, rude. Option to extend your left leg back behind you, if you can. And I would say if there's a lot of space between your right glute and the ground, that you can put a blanket or a block underneath there. Right foot, dorsiflex, active, press down through your right shin. Walk your hands over to your left side a bit. Stay here, bring your elbows and forearms to the ground. Inner thighs, squeeze in. So you're active in the posture. And then option for the self-assist. Right hand. Remember, this is so gentle, excessively gentle. Right hand anchors down and pushes away out to your right side. You might need to go lean a little more over to your left side. Down and away. So you feel the extra stretch in your TFL. Tensor fascia latte. 2 breaths, breathe. And then inhale, press yourself all the way up. When you exhale, broaden your arms. Lean weight mostly into your arms, then swing your left leg around. All right, so now we're moving into double pigeon, Agni Stambhasana, that fire log pose. This is where it would be really helpful to sit up on a blanket or maybe even several blankets. That would be totally okay. And you'll dorsiflex your feet, toes flare to shin, feet are active. You'll stack one shin, so you want it to be in line with the top of your mat, and the opposite shin goes on top. You want to try to get your ankle, top ankle over your bottom knee, and your top knee right above your bottom ankle. There might be a little bit of space in between, and that's okay. If there's quite a lot, you can use a blanket or a block like that. That'd be totally fine. And again, sitting up and having some height, do you see how my knee just went down like that? Will help. The anterior tilt your pelvis forward. If there's a little bit of space, I think it's okay, you can rock it. Fingertips down, inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. And when you exhale, tilt your pelvis forward, a little hinge. That's good, I'm already feeling that a lot. Pretty sore from working out a lot. Using these to stabilize, doing lunges and all those kinds of things. And so when we strengthen these muscles, they get tighter. And it's okay because, well, we're getting strong, but it's really important to make sure that we're spending time stretching as well. If we can't stretch, we can have a harder time externally rotating. And option as you're here to continue to walk your hands a little further out. 2 breaths right here. Double pigeon pose, we're in it. Inhale, walk yourself back. And as you exhale, hands back, rock back, straighten your legs out, flop them around. And then we'll switch. Dorsiflex, activate your feet. Take your opposite shin down first this time, so it's parallel to the top of your mat, or in my case, the long edge of my mat. And then help your left leg to stack on top of your right. Top ankle over bottom knee, top knee over bottom ankle. Adjust. Now, you might be a lot different from one side to the next, one leg on top to the bottom for any amount of reasons. And so if you need some support with a blanket underneath your hips or in between your top and bottom leg, then accommodate yourself now for that. Inhale, fingertips down, lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, let your pelvis tilt forward, hinge from your hips. It's okay to go slow. Now focus your attention, the power of your mind, on the physical sensations you feel in your body, specifically now around your hips and your knees. Breathe into, like you could, breathe into sensation. Breathe into the places that are speaking the loudest. Option 2, walk your hands forward any amount. Some of us may even come all the way down. This side's a little bit more flexible for me than the last side, so I have the opportunity here, but I didn't feel that I would have had to push a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. So you might be the same, you might be a little different, you might be opposite. 2 breaths. Inhale, press yourself up. And as you exhale, rock your hands back, straighten your legs out, flop your feet. And there you go. Deep stretch, right? 3 postures on each side that help you get a little more flexibility in your TFL. Thanks for joining me.